of programs. So yeah, there is no, there is a singular network that creates the programs, but there's not a program. It's not a secret space program. So it's a secret space network that has programs.
Zen ignorance. Will there be a rollout of X tech from the Breakaway civilization to keep America?
Well, I'm excited by this question too.
Okay. Shall I start over?
I think
to keep America a superpower.
Okay, let's start that all over.
Okay.
Will there be a rollout?
Of X tech from the Breakaway civilization to keep America a superpower?
It's a great question, actually. And I made you do it twice, but I heard you the first time. Just wanted to hear it again. I think that they are planning on rolling out some of the X technology. When they talk about the Space Force, and when Trump talks about getting that, he wants to get his hands on what's going on there. And what happened was he put the Space Council back together, and it had been laying dormant. One of the big things that the Bushes decided to do was, Bush and Quayle were going to do this whole thing about going to Mars, and they had the Space Council thing. And what happened was it got on the back burner, and then, oddly enough, in 2014, Obama said, I'm going to charge that Space Council out of the blue, and he never did it. But then, finally, with Pence, and putting Pence in charge of it, Trump made this decision to open that up, and then he tried to make the Space Corps something that he tried to push through Congress, and they wouldn't let him do it, and he wanted the Air Force to answer directly to them. So there's no question that they have plans for moving the technology out, but the levels that they're on with it are so far beyond, I would say, what we've been able to, that anything that we get a look at, basically. So the latest thing they have out there is the X-73B, and I had a picture. Some of the developments, one of the latest X-1s for the for Lockheed, the Blackbird, and this is something that they try to imitate, things like the X-Men and stuff like that. I mean, these are pretty sophisticated designs for these space planes. There's no question about it. And I think that they are, when we see this stuff, it is going to be quite challenging, because we've been kept in such a rut, as it were. The end of the first round of the X technology that swept off from Dornberger was the X-29. I didn't get a shot of that for this show. That's the X-29 in action. Pretty sophisticated stuff, and these are incredibly fast space planes. And but that's I think this picture is from the 80s. So the X-737B is space rate. I mean, it's really advanced stuff. Okay.
Tricky Vicky says, define X-Tech, please.
The X technology is what they've been hiding, and it's an advanced form of technology that is not just ET related, apparently. There's an aspect of it being ET related, but when we say UFO file, we've got stuff that goes back to the Theosophical Society hiding Keely's technology, with good reason, because of the corporate raiders that wanted to come in and exploit everybody with it. And then we got 2 world wars anyway. But the X technology really is something that goes all the way back to Atlantis, apparently. And it represents such an advanced jump in how we understand and utilize reality that it presents a tremendous challenge to us. But in the modern era, it's pretty well known as it's the UFO file, is the idea of the advanced technology in the UFO file. But the X technology is something that's so advanced that in terms of, there are people that have tapped into the idea, like Tesla, which is why we touched on his stuff, John Keely and others. And it's this kind of understanding of energy in a totally different fashion as a way to utilize energy. And the kind of the side effects, or the downside, is this apotheum, which is, it's such a reality distorter that if we don't have the right handle on it, then it spins out of control of the people trying to greedily access it. But in terms of what's been suppressed, there are great technological advances that have been suppressed on that side, and some of that relates to the X technology. So yeah, it's a moving diagram.
Julie Smith, has UFO research really been about building the AI system? Seems MIT and Stanford are connected.
Well, there is an MIT. There's a lot to say about AI. The transhumanism aspect is the most disturbing, really, because it is the idea of surrendering the